Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. This video, turn it this way, is just about how, I guess geared toward maybe people that have been in ministry, missionaries, anybody that doesn't have a paycheck that's like the same amount each month. Okay? It's something that I think about multiple times a year, just depending on what funds have come in, what things look like, and it just varies, okay? So sometimes we have $2,000 come in a month, sometimes we have $4,000, sometimes we have $5,000. It just depends. It's not, we don't have the regular 9-to-5 job with, you know, the, I don't know, $400 paycheck per day or whatever. It's not like that. We have partners, and those partners have made that choice to invest in our ministry and to be a part of it. And so they either give 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever they feel led to give per month, quarterly, so 4 times a year, twice a year, once a year, whatever. It's a big spread of things. People just give different amounts, they give it different times a year. It depends on what people are comfortable with, which is fine. And so, with that, it's kind of hard to sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna budget this amount for this per month, because honestly, we're not for sure like how much is going to come in each month. Sometimes if it's a retired person, they'll sit there and say, you know, I'm gonna see how much I get this month and then base my giving on that. And there's just different circumstances that change how much people are willing or able or whatever to give, and that's fine. And so I guess my point is, as a believer, I really have to trust, as someone in ministry that isn't guaranteed a regular paycheck that at the same amount each month or every 2 weeks or whatever, like, I really have to trust. And it's not that God has ever let us down, because He's shown up in amazing ways and continues to. But it's just funny that my thinking goes back to, oh no, you know, I look at the numbers and I'm like, how's this month gonna work out? And like, you know, how are things gonna come together? And I have that lack of faith. But then He always comes through. It always works out. I mean, maybe not perfectly, maybe not, you know, exactly how I had planned, but His ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Like, He has it figured out. He knows what He's doing. Excuse me. And so it was just a really good reminder. And looking at, because we have this program where we can look back at each month and things, like, honestly, there hasn't been a whole lot of months that have been extremely low. There's been some months that have been stretching and really faith dependent, but isn't that how it should be? Like, not a struggle, not like starving or anything like that, but there should always be that it's in your hands, Lord. You've got this. You're gonna take care of us. You're gonna be there for us. It should always be reminded that it's Him. It's not me. It's technically not even our partners. Like, God has it figured out. God knows what He's doing. You know, He's done this ministry thing a lot longer than we have, and He's the reason that we serve. So the God we serve, our creator God, you know, He's our ultimate boss. He's our ultimate leader. Like, why wouldn't we trust him? And that's just really convicting for me, because he does provide, he does bring us through, but yet I still doubt. You know, I still have worries and threats and frets about it, and just, you know, I'm constantly thinking about it. But then I look at this month and it's like, wow, Lord, you've overly abundantly provided. And so if we go over our amount for the month, that is saved for the next month, so that things start to balance out. And it's just been, it's been a blessing to see, like, how much he's provided each month. And I looked back, so this month's November, I looked back at last November, and he showed up abundantly there. Like, it's very easy to forget, not so much about the partner, but forget about those gifts that come once a year or twice a year. Because when they're only coming once or twice, like, you forget what amount they are, you forget what big of a difference they make, what gap they might fill in, that kind of thing. And so, but we have some partners that they get certain amount of money 2 to 3 times a year, and then they turn around and bless us with it. And so, like, it was kind of like, thanks, God, you know, thank you so much for showing up, thank you so much for being here. But he's always been here. And I just I had the thought of, like, well, why aren't, you know, missionaries like communicating more and sharing their struggles with each other and talking about financial things? And part of it might be, like, these missionaries that have been on the field for years and years and years, like, they know the pattern. They know that there's ups and downs, but that God will show up at the proper time. Like, his timing is perfect. You know, it's infallible. He knows what he's doing. And so it was just a great reminder to have faith, to not doubt, and if those doubts do come, to make sure I'm taking the time to turn to the Lord and say, I'm turning this over to you, because the devil is like, hey, things aren't going well, but the Lord takes care of us. The Lord provides. The Lord's answering some prayers just as I'm speaking, and that I'll hopefully get to share with later and share about later. And it's just, we're blessed, and it's a good to remember that. Oh, excuse me. And it's good to remember that. It's good to share, to talk about those different times of blessings, to talk about, you know, God sightings, or when God has showed up, and to just lift each other up and encourage each other, because he does provide. He will provide. He is providing. And yes, in a lot of ways you do have to choose to make different sacrifices and be willing to follow him, and maybe not always have what you had hoped to have. But as long as you're willing to give it to him, and as long as you're, you know, okay with living on faith, he does provide. Now, I say living on faith, that does not mean like never, you know, presenting your needs, or never sharing your prayer requests with the body. Like, we're supposed to be here for each other. We're supposed to lift each other up in prayer. We're supposed to encourage each other. We're supposed to share one another's burdens. I don't believe in the and those, like, people that have said, you know, oh, this missionary, they just prayed. They never said anything to anybody, and they just prayed and it just happened. But that's probably not true. They probably told people close to them and then prayed and did all this other stuff. And I'm not saying, like, we do definitely need to pray, but it's okay to ask for prayer from others and to get the body praying and everything. But yeah, today I just wanted to encourage you to not forget that the Lord provides. Don't forget that He's always moving, He's always active. And like when you have that moments of, where are you, Lord? You know, what's going on? Like, He knows what's going on. He's there, He sees it, and He's aware of it, and He will show up in His timing. And if you're a missionary, if you're in a situation where you're in some type of ministry where you're raising funds or doing partnership development, I encourage you to look back at the other months and just see, like, if you're having a month where you're discouraged, look back at that month last year to just see what God has done, see how God has provided. There's people out there that can also help to make sure that you're working on managing things and getting things figured out, and that's part of what we're starting to do too. And yeah, it'll all work out, and the Lord will provide and be there for us, and He continues to be. So we're so thankful. We're so grateful for our partners. We're so grateful for your financial partnership. We're so grateful for your prayer partnership. You guys are what make this possible. You guys are the ones that help us to be able to be here and to teach missionary kids and to serve in other ways. And yeah, we couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much. God bless. Have a great day.